Well, Tex Winter obviously his claim to fame obviously was the formation of what's today's modern triangle offense. He was instrumental in helping Phil Jackson in Chicago with the Chicago Bulls and implementing a system there that helped Michael Jordan and the Bulls win titles, win 6 of them. And then obviously coming over to Los Angeles with the Lakers, again with Phil Jackson, and then implementing the very same system here. And but prior to that, he had been an incredibly successful college basketball coach.
Okay.
Was at Kansas State, was at many stops. So, he's 90 years old now, so I would assume somewhere over 60 years worth of basketball for sure, maybe even more.
Wow.
And maybe even more. I'm probably safer to say maybe even on the 70 years worth of basketball. And just the knowledge and the depth in which he had gone, and from the roots of basketball and to even playing college basketball here on the West Coast. He had played even at Oregon State. He played basketball at Oregon State.
Okay.
And had then the war came in, and so he went and fulfilled his war duty obligation there, and came back and ended up going to the University of Southern California, and I think that's where he ended up his basketball playing days.
Right. And
then went all over the place. He's been either an assistant or a head coach everywhere. And then his jump into the NBA really was by Jerry Krause to offer help to him to be a coach of a coach. I mean, that's essentially what his role was with the Laker organization, to Phil Jackson, to get him to be able to coach these superstars, but really to help him motivate himself to become to help Phil Jackson at times, and we all need that. We all need someone to help coach us along the way.
Yeah.
And that was him. His personality fit in well with Phil, and he was willing to sit on the sidelines, and most of the time I think he sat even behind the bench behind Phil and would be in his ear about things.
Okay.
So
okay.
I think that's where I really remember him sitting. He'd sit behind him and be in his ear and tell him things or how to get these guys better and so on.
Yeah. And he's, Coach Winter's being great enough to share with us. Like I asked him 3 things that he feels make for a really successful leader. And his first point was know what you're talking about, know your craft.
Well, I'm sure you probably could have talked about a number of things. And again, in you and I talking and having this radio discussion, it's really about, for all the listeners, the ability to take this information from various sources and utilize it in your own life or your own business or your own craft.
That's right.
And the words of wisdom and from him are they're going to ring true. I mean, you must know your craft. You have to know what you're doing over and over again. The very best coaches, whether it's a scout, he's got to know his own conference. He's got to know his own players, the other teams, the depth, the bench, all the stuff on all the teams. He's got to know, because the better he knows his craft.
Yep.
He's got to be able to stick to what he knows, believe in it, and not just his own. In basketball, it's probably beneficial that a lot of systems, a lot of things. That'll help you in your reaction and your preparation and all of that. That'll really help more. In terms of young people in any business, the more they keep on learning about things, the better off they're going to be, because you want to be as knowledgeable as you possibly can in that subject area that's going to benefit you in whatever endeavor you're in.